Okay. Welcome everyone to today's workshop called Responding to Anger and Aggression. My name is Anna Nielsen and I work for the Merilinga Parenting Service. I am a parenting facilitator. I do various workshops and I'm also a mum of two young boys. They're 2 and 4 years old. And so I'm sure that you have an understanding what it means and definitely have lots of personal experience and obviously professional experience with this topic. As we start our session, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which we are meeting today, the Whadjuk Noongar people, recognizing their continuing connection to land, water, and community. We pay our respects to their culture and to elders past and present in the spirit of reconciliation. As I said, I work for Merilinga Parenting Service, and Merilinga is part of the government-funded Southwest Metropolitan Parenting Service. That means we offer parenting services from Fremantle to Melville down to Rockingham and Kwinana, including Coburn. We work together with Keys and with the City of Coburn. The presentation that we have here today for you has a lot of ideas from hand-in-hand parenting. And so all of the ideas that we're sharing are connection-based. And I strongly encourage you, if you are intrigued by the ideas that I'm sharing with you, that you have a look at the Hand in Hand website. There's lots of free resources, lots of articles, videos, lots to learn. And there's also paid courses. And yeah, it's a wonderful parenting approach. So yeah, if you're intrigued, you can do lots more learning there, and obviously we'll have lots of future sessions as well. Okay. Now over to you. I would love to know what brought you here today. So why do children show anger and aggression? Hand-in-hand parenting says that anger and aggression are responses to fearful experiences of the past. So they see it from a very trauma-informed place. And they say, your child is actually trying to say that they're having fear. They experience something that they're struggling with. Could be in the moment, but often it's actually something that's way past, something that they really hurt, something that scared them, that overwhelmed them, that they really are carrying fear with them now, and it's getting triggered by current situations. Generally speaking, emotional outbursts are completely appropriate developmentally. Children are meant to have those big emotions, including anger. Anger is a healthy and normal emotion. And especially when they're very young, but up to 25, the brains are still under construction. They need us help them. They need us to help them learn how to regulate their big feelings. So from a hand-in-hand perspective, we're looking always behind the emotion. So what are they trying to tell us? And they're not trying to give us as parents a hard time, even if it feels like that. They are actually having a hard time with their emotions. They're really struggling to regulate, and they're struggling to put that fear, the sadness that they're carrying with them out. They don't know what to do with this feeling, and they're responding with anger and aggression. What happens to us when we experience our children's anger and aggression? It can trigger really big feelings. I'm sure all of you have experienced different feelings, but often we feel overwhelmed and challenged when our children show large outbursts of anger, and it's completely normal. Often it's the reason why is because our own parents were overwhelmed too. So we likely don't have any role models in our own parents, and our parents likely used threats, punishments, or timeouts to manage our own angry behavior. So it's really hard for us to respond any differently, especially when we're under stress, and our children's anger or aggression can definitely cause us a lot of stress. We tend to react like our parents and carers responded to us when we were kids. So there's nothing wrong with you. It's completely normal to feel overwhelmed in this situation. I would like to now ask you to share with each other. I'm going to split you up into groups of two and have a little breakout room. I'd like you to share with each other, how did your parents respond when you were angry as a child? And what did you feel like saying to your child when they have an anger outburst? Hit you or hit others? What is it that you really feel this urge? What would you like to say to them that you sometimes feel like you have to bite your tongue? This is a safe space. Talk to someone in the room, and you might find it's actually quite useful to get it out. However, what I would like your listener to do is to really not judge, not interrupt the one that's talking, not referring back. And confidentiality is critical. So if you're in a space where there's people in the background, please let your partner know that you're not in a confidential space. So they have the option of talking about the shopping list or talking about other issues that they feel comfortable sharing in case someone is listening in. I will give you about 6 minutes, and each person should have 3 minutes to talk. You can set a timer or you can look at the clock. Try not to interrupt each other. That will be great. So this is called listening. And now we're moving to the part where we're looking, okay, what can we do? First of all, I would like to reassure you that your child is a good child. There's nothing wrong with them. They're a good child. They need you to see how hurt and scared they are. So something behind the behavior the behavior is showing us that there's something there, some really hurt feelings, some fear that they need us to see. So what we need to do from the first place is we need to observe and record when this aggressive behavior occurs. What do they say? What are typical situations before they hit someone, before they have really big anger? Can you identify any triggers, any patterns? When you look back, is there anything that happened in their life that may have caused them to have a lot of fear? Have they experienced something that they felt like they're in actual danger? May have not been something that they were in danger. Potentially they were. So sometimes it can be um, as a fearful experience when they're going through birth, because maybe they were stuck in the birth canal, or they had a really early separation from you because they were born really early. Have they had a new sibling arrive, or have the parents had a separation? Is there lots of fighting in the house? Have they seen others getting hurt? Have they been in a car accident, medical treatment? It can be big things like this. And unfortunately, it's not possible for us to keep our children free from any of these hurts. Can be smaller things that have caused them a lot of fear. From their perspective, it can be various things, can be big and small things. Look what it could be for your child. What may be there that's caused them to have a lot of fear? And often it can be something like they're worried about being left alone, being replaced by a new sibling. That can cause a child a lot of fear. Might not be rational to you, might be something that you tried really hard to prevent from happening. You may have tried really hard to support them through difficult situations. We can't always prevent that. And we will also not fully understand what could have happened for them. But what we can do is be a bit detective and look at current situations. So observe and record. When does it usually occur? What do they say? Is that giving us any clues? What might be behind the behavior? Any triggers, any patterns? So that would be your number one action for the next few days. Have a look. What is it? What could it be? And it might always be just guesswork. That's okay. Just trying to see what it could be will help. And the number two is restoring connection. So we know that children have a lot less meltdowns and outbursts if they feel safe and connected. So what we want for your child is to come to you for comfort and safety before they hit. So ideally, when they feel that urge, that they actually feel that they're upset, that they're sad, and then they come to you. So the more we connect with them, the more they feel safe and connected, the more likely it is that they will come to you and not hit. Right? There's no magic cure, but there is stuff we can do that will help that connection. One of the tools that that comes from hand-in-hand parenting that we suggest to parents a lot is to do special time with their child. Special time supports your child's sense of connection, their sense of safety and emotional well-being. We always call it vitamin C, but it's a connection vitamin. So vitamin connection, and it can be so much as 5 minutes a day. When we're going through a really rough time, when we're feeling like actually right now, 5 minutes a day isn't going to cut it, they really need a lot of time together, lots of special time, we can increase it. Depending on, and it's your whatever works for your family. Sometimes 5 minutes feels a lot at the beginning, but the more we practice special time, the more we do it, the more we will see how it changes things. Because what special time means is we tell our child, it's special time now. We time it. So we really set a timer similar to what we just did in our little listening practice together. We say it's special time now, or it's mama time now, or whatever you want to call it. You set a timer and you follow their lead and you delight in them. So they can choose what they want to do. They can choose what they want to show you. They can say, I want to play Lego with you, or I want to have a pillow fight with you. Whatever they choose, you go along as much as you can and as much as it's safe. You can set some boundaries, but if you can, just let them be in charge. Yeah, if they want to eat a whole tub of ice cream with you and you go, actually, I don't really care. It's just 5 minutes and it's not 10 times a day. If that's what they want to do and you feel cool with that, go along. Let them be in charge and delight in them, delight in their joy in whatever they want to show you. This will bring a lot of connection into your family in between the two of you. So that's called special time. That's a starting point for more safety because, again, we want them to come to you before they hit. We want them to feel, yep, you're a person they trust, you're a person for comfort. So we need more connection, more connection. The important bit is here, you are fully present. It's really important that you have all your attention on your child. So there's no phones, there's no quickly cleaning off some dust off the couch while you're having the pillow fight. There's no talking to other children. Ideally, that's the critical bit, so that your child really gets all your attention and your warmth, and that's the vitamin C that they need in that moment. Okay. However, tricky, of course, it's not going to turn around from now to tomorrow if you go and do some special time today. You might continue to go through difficult scenarios, and that is normal and that is okay. So what can we do in the moment? As mentioned earlier, children need our help regulating. I saw someone commented, I feel like number one and number two, it worked so well what I did with them, helping them regulate. It doesn't work for my third child. Every child is different, but all children are seeking connection and they need us to be calm and caring and tend to them with love, even when they're really struggling, even when they're going through really hard times. So the tool that we're using, again, is a hand-in-hand parenting tool. It's called Stay Listening. So what we want in the moment when our children are very angry or when they're acting aggressively is we want to listen. We want to offer our close attention. So we want to move close. We want to offer our warmth and we want to connect. So ideally, we try and have eye contact. We have a calm body language, calm voice, as much as we can stay calm because that's our own struggle. If we're regulated and we can bring this regulation, this calmness to them, it will help them regulate. So we try and stay close. We say 5 words or less and we listen fully. If they're angry, they might say mean things. They might tremble. They might sweat. They might throw might throw pillows. They might try and hit you. What we try is to hold those feelings and to say, I know this is hard. This feels really hard. I'm right here. The less we say, the better. But we are allowed and we have to also set limits during that. So it's not allowed to, we try and prevent as much as we can any hitting, throwing of things, damaging items. We can allow them obviously to punch things and do that if it's safe enough. So if they feel like they want to throw pillows or something like that, great. Let them get that physical energy out. But if they try and hit you, you're allowed to say, no, I won't let you hit me. You gently hold their hands. You gently hold, not gently if it's necessary, if they want to throw something that's precious and that might break, you hold that item and prevent it from being thrown. That's really important because what happens if children are hitting others, if they're breaking things while they're in this really big outburst, it actually adds to what they're already feeling, all this fear and sadness and whatever is causing them to be so upset. What they're adding to it is actually feeling really bad because they've broken someone, they hurt something, they've broken something, they've hurt someone, they don't want that. So what they would add another layer of guilt, of shame, of feeling really bad to this. So we want to help them to not have extra work to do, to extra things to work through. So ideally, we prevent them from hitting others, from hitting us, from damaging items by gently and calmly holding their hands, any items they want to throw, while also try and listen. I am here, but I won't let you hit me. This will take time, and especially as we're starting out, it might be really confusing, might be confusing for both of us at the beginning, because what can happen is the more we listen, the worse it's going to get for the moment. Because the more we listen, the more anger might come out, the more fear can come out, the more rejection in the moment might come out. Anything that they're offloading might actually get worse for the moment because they feel safe. They feel safe, you are calm, you are presenting yourself as a safe person, and it might make it worse in the moment. If we manage to listen well, to take the time it takes to stay close, we can watch for signs of relief. So if we manage to go all the way through, and that might be hard at the beginning, that really can be hard at the beginning, you can watch for signs of relief. So what you might find is once they have offloaded all this tension, all the struggles they have in the moment, they might actually smile at you and they might go, can we play something now? I'm really hungry. They might actually show you that they feel a lot better. So that's what we can do in the moment. I hope that I explained that well. If you have any questions, we hopefully have a moment at the end, or you can always email me. But that's the tricky bit. That's what we need to practice is stay listening. And I've written on the slide, be their safety manager. So what we need to do, once we've worked out typical scenarios where it happens a lot, let's say every time we leave them with their sibling for longer than 5 minutes, they start hitting them. We know that's when you need to be there. So you don't leave them for 5 minutes, you leave them for 4. You go in, you take one with you, you separate them, or you be with them. And if you see those little hands move towards or something being thrown, you help them. You hold their hands and go, we don't hit, I'm here. So you're the safety manager for a while until you've done enough stay listening, until they've offloaded all their fear, until you have connected so well that they have been able to safely offload their tensions and their stresses. That's where we want to go. What not to do? I wasn't sure whether I put it in here, but I thought maybe sometimes it's important to talk about this because it's so easy to do these things. Because as I said earlier, it's hard when we don't have a role model for what listening actually looked like when you were a child. So if as a child you were punished or you were isolated when you were showing anger, then it's really hard not to do the same thing, right? So what we don't want to do, because we know often it doesn't work or it might not work long time, we don't try and reason, we don't lecture. So this whole, you know, you're not meant to hit, hitting is not good, it will hurt the other. See, your brother is now hurt, he's crying. All this lecturing, all this reasoning, all of this explaining isn't going to help them in the moment because what happens, they can't think. So when they're very emotional, they don't have access to their thinking brain, they can't think. So there's no reason or there's no point of trying to reason with them. We don't want to distract them either. So if we try and go, oh, here's a cookie, or here we go, let's go quickly do something else, we just delaying the healing process because we know they're struggling with these outbursts and with aggressive behavior because something is inside that they are struggling with. So if we try and go, sometimes we need to distract because we can't deal with it then and there. That's okay. Let's say it happens in a doctor surgery, we might not have it in us, or we might also really simply need to go in. Sometimes it's okay to go, okay, right now I can't listen to these upset feelings, but whenever we can, let's do stay listening and not distract because it really just delays the problem. Feelings will come up the next opportunity, right? So if we give a cookie every time, we have to give a cookie all the time. It's just putting a layer on top of it. It's not solving the problem. Same with threatening, punishing, isolating, all these things, and they can just make it worse. They have the potential to increase the fear. They make the child on top of their feelings of sadness and loneliness. They might actually make it just worse. So something that I sometimes hear is that people say, whoa, when they're feeling like this, or when they're really upset, when they're super angry, or when they're hitting someone, or when they're, trying to hit me, I just say to them, look, I'll talk to you when you've calmed down. It's super understandable because we feel really threatened ourselves. We really struggle to respond. But that just means they have to work it out themselves. They have to do something they really can't do in the moment. Because if they couldn't, they wouldn't struggle so much, right? So we try and stay with them. Sometimes that means staying in a safe distance if they really, or holding a cushion or something to protect ourselves. I don't want anybody to think that they should be hit or anything. But if we walk away, it isolates them, makes the feelings of loneliness worse. Okay. Yeah, I've mentioned this before because this is a critical part. Supporting our children through anger and aggression is really one of the hardest things in parenting. I certainly find it extremely hard because it is very triggering, right? And it's hard work to figure out what's going on for them, but also to listen to the upset when they're angry because they might be angry with us. They might try and hit us. It takes a lot of courage, it takes strength, it takes patience, and to go, oh, yeah, all you need to do is stay calm and listen. It's not easy, right? Because it triggers a lot of feelings. We might get angry ourselves. So, what we can do and what we should do is find someone that listens to you and your own upset feelings. So, if you can, listen to your child in the moment, but also make sure that you can take all the feelings that are coming up while you're doing all that listening to someone that listens to how you're feeling. Take time for yourself. You really need it. It is really hard work. Um, you deserve support, right? It's completely normal to struggle. You deserve someone that listens to you because this is not easy to do. So be kind to yourself. If it feels hard, stay listening is something we need to practice. The more we practice it, the better we get. It's like training a muscle. So you might actually go, wow, this is really, really hard to stay there, stay calm. So you start out small, start 5 minutes. You take 5 minutes where you listen, and then you go, whoa, I'm getting really dysregulated here. I need a break. So you can either swap with another parent if they're able to do that, or you can actually really just take yourself out, regulate, and come back in. It's much better to have a break for yourself, give yourself some time out, than to get angry at your child, may potentially yell at them, or say things you might regret. So definitely be kind to yourself. This is not stay listening takes practice. Staying with your child when they're really angry until they have got that point of relief, it can take 20 minutes, can take half an hour, it can take longer than that, especially when they're really angry and they've been carrying those feelings for a while. So that's completely fine if you need to practice that and get better at it over time. I hope that you will see some difference in how your child responds. It might get worse before it gets better because initially, when they are getting those feelings out, they might actually escalate a bit more because they start trusting you and they start going, whoa, I actually can let these feelings out. This person's safe. And so it might get worse before it gets better. That's all normal. Okay, so what were today's key messages? So, number one, trust that your child is a good child and that it will get better. That's the number one. They are struggling with something, but they are good children and it will get better the more we support them. So, offering special time as a foundation will strengthen your connection and the safety. So, the more we are connected, the more our child will feel like you're a person I can offload all these feelings to. That's usually why it's also us when they're struggling a lot. They might not even show anyone at school or daycare or other family members. They might only show this aggressive behavior towards us because we are their safe place. Doesn't mean then that we've caused it, doesn't mean that we are the ones that have that they're struggling with. It might mean we are the safe place. So the more we strengthen that safety and connection, the more they feel like, yeah, I'm going to get rid of these big feelings, and the behavior will come less and less over time. During emotional outbursts, we offer closeness, warmth, and connection while also setting those limits to aggressive behavior. Over time, that they will be able to release those old fears and worries. And anger and aggression, that's the last key message for today, mentioned many times, can trigger big feelings in ourselves. So if you can find someone to listen to you, that can bring a lot of relief. For you all to share with me what you're taking away. I do have a couple more slides, but from what I've just shared, from what you shared with me via Menti, but also what you discussed with the other parent, is there anything that you feel like, yeah, I really like that idea, I'm taking that away? Would you like to share with everyone via Menti? It's again anonymous, and I will show you the results in a moment. So the last slide that I have for you is actually this one. I'd like to thank you all for your hard work, the time and the love you give to your children, the fact that you're here today, the fact that you're taking out an hour out of your day, that you could be resting potentially, or you could be having your lunch, or, you know, you definitely made this a priority, which tells me that you really dedicated to making a difference in your kids' lives. I'd like to ask you, please, for your feedback. We would really appreciate that. We can offer these programs for free, but we also always are required to provide feedback to our funders. So I would very much appreciate if you could do our survey. And then I also would like to invite you to do some more work with us if you feel that's something you benefit from. We have more workshops coming up. The next two that are coming are the low demand, strong connection workshop. This is one especially for children that don't do very well with direction, that really need a low demand, a different approach to working collaboratively with you. That's very good for children that have neurodiversity. That's on next Thursday. And then we have a lunchtime workshop coming up again in a couple of weeks, or 3 weeks, preparing siblings for a new baby. So if anybody is expecting a new sibling or has just had a new baby, there are some really good tips how we can strengthen sibling connections from the start. Again, a tricky period as well for children. Often some hitting occurs in that time. So we'll definitely talk a little bit about that too. But for now, if you could take a moment to do our survey, I would very much appreciate your time.